What's going on, guys? J-Swag coming back at you for another One Punch Man manga review. This time we're going over One Punch Man chapter 170, What Was Gained. A little bit different if you guys might be webcomic readers. We're getting right back into Garou here. This is pretty much Garou's chapter. And you know, if you read the webcomic, we don't see him for like 15, 20 chapters. King runs across him like once. And then we have him do a little fight with Suiryu, like later on in the Neo Hero arc. So this is great. We're getting right back into Garou here. We're seeing what's happening with him after his fight with Saitama, and his Hero Hunter days are over. So yeah, this is cool. Let's get right into it. So we're starting off with Garou, and he is pretty much doing his whole rundown on why he was hero hunting. He's talking about his unbiased evil shtick. Pretty much the world doesn't need absolute justice, it needs unbiased evil to unite everyone together. His whole thing that he's been talking about, he's talking about how humans in this current system we're in have been made complacent, and how humans aren't even punished for any misdeeds that they do. And this leads him to be like, in this world that turns people evil, he can't even protect a kid like Terrio. So this is all leading back to Terrio, and leading back to Garou as him as a kid getting bullied just like Terrio was. But we find out that all this that he's talking about is not what this investigator that he's talking about wants to know. We find out that he's here for his Dine and Dash incident, where he ate all that food and then left, and then saw King and Saitama and totally got destroyed by Saitama. Or no, I think that's when he got karate chopped by Saitama, when Saitama was looking for the wig. But anyway, the guy's like, do you regret what you do? And bang, just smacks him in the back of the head, and he's like, answer the question. So Garou, we find out, has been getting interrogated for all the damages that he caused when he was hero hunting, and I'm guessing all the damages that were caused to Z City during the Monster Association. But it looks like he's getting off scot-free here, probably because of his association with Bang, and Bang's obvious hero activities and stuff. But Bang is saying now that all this is over, they can focus on what's really important, as in Garou going around and apologizing to all the people that he hunted and hurt. And Garou's kind of giving his little, like, snarky response. Like, he says, don't tell me what to do, you're not my dad. And this leads to Bang thinking about Garou's parents, and we find out that Garou's parents never actually showed up during his whole interrogation process, and Garou's only, like, 16, 17 here. So where are Garou's parents? But Bang is like, Bang considers himself Garou's dad, kind of, but he says all it takes to become a parent is to have a child, but what it takes to be a leader is to actually or what it takes to be a teacher is to actually lead the way for the youth. And Garou's like, whatever, but like, Garou obviously loves Bang, pretty much his father figure in his life. But this leads Bang to thinking about him actually finding Garou after Garou ran away from all the heroes in the last chapter. And we find Garou meditating under a waterfall, and this is actually sacred training grounds that Bang showed Garou. And these are actually the sacred training grounds that King goes to in his little webcomic chapter, where he is having like a midlife crisis. He's telling everybody that he's not actually powerful, and no one's believing him. So he goes to Bang, and Bang's like, I can't train you, you're too powerful. He sends him to Bomb. Bomb sends him to another guy, and he goes around to all these dojos, and the last guy ends up sending him here where Garou is training, and in the webcomic he actually runs into Garou, but they don't like talk or anything. He sees him for like a panel, and that's kind of our fill-in to what Garou is doing. But it turns out that Garou went here right after he ran away from the heroes, and Bang finds him here, obviously. And Bang's thinking he probably wanted me to find him, which he probably did. Garou is probably looking for an excuse to get back in the good graces of Bang and the rest of the world, honestly. But Garou goes on to talk about how he only wanted Bang to find him so he could remember his fist, which is obviously his Godslayer fist and his, I believe it was called All Life Eradication Fist. And Garou actually forgets, yes, he forgets all his knowledge after the Zero Punch. Like, he can't remember, he remembers everything before the Zero Punch, but all his powers he got from God, he can't remember any of that. So, this is interesting, like, how strong is Garou at this point? He obviously isn't Cosmic Fear anymore, but how much of his, like, Zenkai boost does he still have from, like, getting beat down so many times and monsterfying? Because, like, he monsterfies and he has, like, the one red eye, and then he continually progresses. But, like, when does that official monsterization happen, and where is his power at compared to that now? Because we have no idea. But he goes on to ask about how Terrio's doing, and Bang's like, oh, Terrio's doing great. And we actually cut to see Terio in the park with a couple of his friends. And these kids are playing the same game that Garou played when he was a kid, the, like, Justice Man game. And they all team up on Terio, and they make him the monster, and they start beating on him a little bit. But then he pulls out, like, the Garou, like, pose, and he's like, you thought I was some kind of monster? I'm Garou Man, the hero. So this is just great. And all the kids are like, yeah, okay, dude. But luckily he gets saved by Waganma, the One Hero Association representative's son, who was also captured during the Monster Association arc. And he's pimping up in his limo, and he's like, hey, Terio, what's up? And all the kids are like, oh my god, like, you're friends with Waganma? So Terio, being the nice kid he is, Waganma asks him to come and hang out, and then he invites the bullies to come and hang out. So this is a nice little arc for Terio here. And we see Garou kind of looking up into the air and being like, do your best, Terio. I'll do the same. So that's beautiful. But Garou is talking about here, because we cut back to them, he's talking about he wants to set up an exhibition. He wants to see if he can fight all of the people that he fought when monsterized, if he could relearn some of the stuff that he lost. And he talks about wanting to fight Bang, Bomb, Flashy Flash, Blast, and Saitama. And Blast is the confusing one here, because in this timeline, Garou never fights Blast. Blast never even shows up to the conflict, because Garou gets Zero Punch before he can do his walk down, and Blast doesn't show up until the next chapter. So this is kind of confusing. Maybe he's talking about naked Saitama punching him, because in the last chapter, Flashy Flash did that whole thing like, oh, I couldn't really see who it was, but like that does match up with how Blast would do it. So at this point, people think Blast is the one who took out Cosmic Fear Garou. So maybe Garou's talking about that one punch that supposed Blast delivered that we know is actually Saitama. But he says, in order, he says, Bang, Bomb, Flashy Flash, Blast, and Saitama. That would imply that he fought Blast before Saitama, so this is kind of confusing here. I don't know if it's just an error by Murata and One. I'm thinking that it is, but that's just confusing to me. But we cut to the Hero Association here, and they're talking about how Bang is actually retiring, and how he is going to be grooming Garou into to take his place in the Hero Association. And they're kind of it's Sitch and Second Guard talking about this, and Second Guard's kind of worried because of all the heroes, obviously, that Garou hunted, and all the backlash to that. But Sitch is like, it doesn't matter, like, we need to bolster our forces before Shibawa's prophecy happens. So Shibawa's prophecy still on the mind of the Hero Association, and Garou possibly in the future coming in to the Hero Association. And obviously he'd be an S-Class hero. He's obviously S-Class level at this point. So that's awesome to see. But we cut back to Garou and Bang. And Bang is just trying to like personalize with Garou here. And he asks him if there are any girls that he likes. And this freaks Garou out. But Garou caves and actually tells him that he has a crush on a yellow Power Ranger girl in their universe. So there's like a Power Ranger show in their universe, and he has a crush on the Yellow Ranger. So that's funny. And we get this, oh my god, it's probably one of my favorite panels in all of One Punch Man. It's not even like anything crazy. It's just Bang and Garou walking down the street, and Garou is like they're just having a conversation, and it's, oh my god, it's so great after everything that Garou's been through and everything that Bang's been through to try and bring him back to the light. It's just that panel. It's just, oh man, it's great. I love it. But we're cutting to Genos and Saitama here, and they're sifting through Z City. It's pretty much a beach. Genos is finding a clam, and Saitama's like, whoa, that's a huge clam. And this is just setting them up to look for the rest of their stuff in the next chapter. But we're also seeing a little someone watching them in the background, and if you guys know who this is, you know who it is. One of my favorite characters in One Punch Man. Not really even a character, but I love this, and I can't wait for to cover this in the next chapter. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a like. If you stuck until the end, give a subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.